Octopus Gloves here, and this is the 34th video in the Kontakt from the Ground Up tutorial series. And today we're going to be talking about the Transient Master effect. Now, you need to have the compression one under your belt if you do not know anything about compression. So when we talk about the Transient Master, you know what I'm talking about. So I have dropped a kick drum into here, and Transient Masters are a special type of compression that give you essentially just really good control over your transients, which we've already talked about. So we have our Leviathan kick sample. So this is the actual pitch of the sample. And I have opened a Maximus, which is a compressor, but it's not doing anything. And it's showing us graphically what's going on. So I hit my sound, we could see what it looks like. So we know that a compressor takes volume and will compress it and then bring the gain up. But a Transient Master gives special emphasis to the ability to do that on the attack. And so you could set the input gain of your transient or of your sound that's going in. So what is the input gain? Well, if we take our gain away, our input away, we see that our attack is reduced to almost nil. Well, everything's reduced to pretty much nil. This is essentially like the threshold in the compressor. And you can hear it begin to distort. So that is what it is, pretty much the threshold. You have this smooth option. Now this is, if you start getting real wonky effects, it's the effect on the compressor of just a long release and attack time. It just smooths things out for you. That's why it's called smooth. So if you're using this on a guitar for some reason, you know, it's whatever. So that is what the input does. Our attack talks about these first few milliseconds, the actual transient of our effect. So if I were to open up a Edison here and drop that same sample in, our transient would actually be this guy right here. So the attack phase, well, I guess I'll define transient again real fast because I haven't done it in this video. Transient is a moment of excitement. So right now we have our moment of excitement. We went from nothing to boom, we have audio going on. This middle ground, you can see it's already been compressed quite substantially. This middle ground is called the sustain phase. And so one thing about a sustain phase is you'll notice that we get a periodic waveform. So it follows a regular waveform. We're at the attack phase. Our waveform is much more complex and crazy looking. And we're really good at hearing attack phases. So the way things start are a very particular way to us. So this attack, basically, it will compress the attack down, or it will backwards compress. I forgot what it's called. Over compression? Nope. I don't know. But anyways, it'll open up instead. It'll cause it to increase in gain. And if we look at our graph while we play some notes here, we can see that happen. So if we start off at 0, and our input gain's been set to 0, so it's linear, but we're going to make it non-linear by adjusting the compression on the attack. So if we take it down, you see that our attack has been reduced in volume. And as we turn it up, you see right here by these spikes that it has been greatly increased in volume. And you can see that as it reaches past these first few milliseconds, if we reach the sustain phase, and the sustain phase is not being compressed at all. So it remains relatively the same, but it has to reduce down to that level. So this could be very bad, peaks like this, because it would be extremely hard to do later compression later on. If you plan to compress your entire song later or do things, it just makes mixing. You gotta make these decisions with the idea that you're gonna mix and master more later. So, but it gives you great ability to adjust the attack of your drum. Then if we go to our sustain phase, now this will compress or not compress. It will compress, meaning reduce in volume, or it will boost in volume. Our attack phase, and on our Edison here, that would be this section right here. Now we are already pretty close to clipping, so the compressions will be quite noticeable on a sample like this. Even the attack phase has been done. This is how you know that a sample's already been worked on quite a bit. So let's mess with the sustain now, and you'll see that we resemble much more of a block, and that I love how it just stops like that. It's so convenient. And we notice that it has to release as it turns off now. And if we turn it the other way around, we get almost the inverse effect. And if we do it all the way around, we get sort of it takes away the sustain and the release. Doesn't sound that great. But if you mess around with the gain now, you get some really wonky results. But if you want punchy drums, essentially what you want to do is mess with the attack. But this could be super great for adding that immediate kick, shaping your sound just the way you want, especially if you're doing separate processing for your groups. Maybe you have a group for kicks, or you've set up your zones so they can be individually processed. But yes, so that's what the Transient Master is. Again, you have the output to adjust makeup gain, to just adjust things there in case you've got this sounding just right. Now, you don't want to fall for the just louder trick here, because a lot of people, they go for the just make it as soon as it sounds louder, they think it sounds good. That's not the goal. You're looking for punch here. You're looking for specific sustain. Maybe you're even reducing volume on specific elements, because this is usually for drums because of this ridiculous ability to adjust your attack phase. But maybe you're looking to reduce elements to make room in your mix for other things, and you want to use it through the Transient Master instead. So these are some really super options. You can use it for guitar and stuff, but your attack and sustain, your sustain phase will be really kind of weird, and that's what the smooth is for, to help work that out. But then again, you have like a regular compressor available to you. So yep, and you can, of course, set presets, bypass it the same way, all that other stuff. We get rid of it via the little X in the corner. If you have any questions, let me know. Drop them in the comments. Subscribe because you are a fan of philosophy, and I'm a fan of philosophy, and that's a reason to do that. So, have a blessed day. Oh.